Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is the brand new Tier 8 Premium Heavy Polish tank, the 50TP prototyp. I've been driving around in this thing for the last couple of weeks on Twitch, live streaming, grinding some credits out. The 50TP prototype, certainly a decent credit earner. Of course, this came out not so long ago, and it is in the Premium store right now. If you want to buy it, check it out in the Premium store. I reckon it's worth it just for the looks. Have a look at those, have a look at this. That's the hussers on the side of the 50TP prototype, and that's what comes with, I think, in all bundles. Even if you buy it just as a standalone tank, it still comes with that unique style, which is the hussers, which goes on the side of the tank, and it's a pretty groovy paint job, if you ask me. Now, of course, today's video features two replays featuring the 50TP prototype. The first one, I thought, well, I'm not going to start off with an ace tanker. I'm going to start off with a gameplay featuring my good self, and we'll start off with the game, which you're going to see tier 10s in this tank. Let's get that point out of the way really early on. And during the long drive up to the Malinovka Hill, it is Malinovka, isn't it? Of course it is, Stewie. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Let's look at the gun. 122mm high alpha damage gun, 122mm, 440 damage, 218 penetration. Now the 218 penetration might come into it. I think you're going to see some APCR fired in this game because it's a tier 10 game. 245 penetration with APCR. Now I'll preface this first. This game, there's going to be some gold ammunition because there's some heavily armoured tanks I'm going to be coming up against very shortly. The WZ1115A, the E3, I don't think we see him straight away. The 57, yes. The T10, yes. And so anyway, you can see I've got standard loadout, standard rounds rocked and ready to go. Now the first replay is a matchup like this where I'm up against tier 10s. The second one I'll be top tier, and see what you think. See what you think, especially as far as credit earnings and all that goes as well. Because as well as trading crews, premium tanks, they're all about earning credits as well. Now, I'm heading up to the hill in Malinovka. This is where it all happens. It's a good thing about Malinovka. When the long drive to the hill, especially in a heavy tank, is good for talking a little bit about the tank while you're waiting for the tank to get up there. Now, I don't think this is going to go through, or will it? No, it won't. I bounced the M48 pattern. Now, that's a good thing. The M48 pattern's got a pretty good gun, if you ask me. And it was a APCR, which is probably standard for the M48 pattern. Also bounced the WZ1115A. Now, I'm pretty happy about this. This is pretty early on in my career in the 50TP prototype, the Tier 8 Premium Polish heavy tank. I've already bounced 880 damage. I'm happy about that. I can bounce tier 10s if I'm in the right position, which is, and including heat from the 5A. Now this shot, I don't think goes through. It didn't bounce the second shot from the WZ1115A, the tier 10 Chinese heavy tank, and I think it's probably because I went a little bit too far forward. Maybe exposed a little bit more of my turret than I wanted to. I think this is the bullshit shot that comes through. Yep, that one went through the top for 424 hit points of damage. Now, as from what I've found in this tank, and I think I've been very, very lucky, I think my overall win rate at the time that I'm recording this is something like 70% or over, so 70 something percent. I find the teeth looking for another bullshit shot, one into the top of there. I reckon that should have went through, but I guess RNG sort of deviated the shell a little bit. 1-1's the score. I've only got one shot of damage off so far. Looking for cheeky shots, sticking with the premium rounds and saying, well, fuck it. I'm just going to start shooting stuff that I know I can penetrate. We need to win this fight. This is where all the action's happening. You can see we've got a Badger and a T30 over here doing TD stuff, but of course there's no vision in the south, so they're effectively out of the game from what I can see. All the mediums are up here, sniping like absolute champions. But, you know, that's what you get. That's what you get. Looking for cheeky shots on these tanks. I want to be the first one over the top that gets, you know, we've all done it. You know, you go over the top and then everybody shoots you at once and all of a sudden you're back to the garage. Down to 995 damage. Block a little bit more from the Centurion. No idea where that shot went. Probably shouldn't have zoomed back out. Probably should have stayed in the zoom in mode. 871 damage done. 1110 damage block. Looking. 995 damage up my sleeve. But 995 damage. 2 or 3 shots from these enemy tanks should do that. Now, I'm calling bullshit on that shot on the T-34. That should have went through. That was as green as a Granny Smith apple, the aim point on that one. But you got to take the good with the bad. Continuing to play around on this hill, staying hull down. I think that's the key. Staying hull down. Now, there's a T-34 there looking at me. I've only got 7 premium shells remaining. Thinking about switching back to standard. Probably will after this shot, I think, from memory. What's dead? The Nameless and Oho both been killed on the enemy team. Still plenty of tier 10 tanks on the enemy team. Looking for a shot. There you go. Straight into the top of the tower of the T-34. Of course, the T-34 premium. American tier 8 heavy tanks. Got that weak spot up there, which looks like a rice farmer's hat. 4-2 the score now as the IS-3 and the pattern get taken out. And I'm getting ready to start to get a little bit cheeky. Get rid of the T-10. Shooting through the commander's hatch on top of the turret. And that brings the score up to 6-2. Sticking with APCR because the T-34 and the WZ115A are both still up there. I want to get rid of them. No idea why that one didn't go through. 1,601 damage so far. 1,110 damage blocked. A whisker of assisted damage. The Oho and the Badger still back at the base. The T-34 goes down to the Conqueror, and that makes our lead up to 7-2. Looking towards the WZ, considering switching to HE. Do I do it? Let's see if I do that. I remember thinking, well, maybe I could just HE him to try and get rid of him. I see that he's not looking my way, so I go, you beauty, thank you very much. Let's get rid of that top tier heavy tank. That's for second kill, 1735 hit points of damage done. Switching back to standard rounds because I was quite confident of being able to get to the sides of the Oho. The Oho gets killed though by the Centurion 1, and that brings the score up to 9-3. I know what you're probably thinking, this hasn't been too spectacular yet. 1735 damage done, 1100 assisted. I'm looking towards that Centurion 1, licking my lips. Aim, Stewie, aim, 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 aim. Don't miss whatever you do, Stewie. Don't miss, don't miss. Thank you, doesn't miss that one. 11-3, 3 kills, 1911 damage done, 1,110. But what's left on the enemy team? A T110E3. about that on stream I went, wow. Bounce a T110E3. Happy with that. Well, yes, it was a standard round, but it's still a T110E3. Everyone's behind me still. Bottom tier in a tier 10 game. 6 cents goes off. Bounce the T110E3 again. And that's what I think. Well, I reckon that's about it for my luck. Looks like the Conqueror has taken his brave pills, and he probably should too. He's on pretty much full health, but he's stopped. He's stopped out in the open. No idea why. Looking down towards where I think the enemy team are. What's left? The T110E3, the Object 704, the WZ111 GFT, and the ISU 152. All tank destroyers, and of course, you guessed it, they're all down there in that tank destroyer kind of camping forest. The Object 704 gets flushed out by the Badger. The Badger kills him, and the Badger's just gone straight across to the enemy team. He's probably thinking, wow, I haven't done much damage in this one. I'm going to start rolling forward. The WZ115A starts rolling forward, but again, he stops as well in a bit of a hull down position. Everybody looking towards that ISU 152. He pulls back behind the ridge before anybody can kill him, and 13-3. We know the result. 2,370 damage done, 2,610 damage blocks. Look, 1,500 of that is due to the T110E3. Bounce him, I think it was Matara that it bounced, just by the way. It certainly wouldn't have been this lower plate. This lower plate is certainly penetratable, that's for sure. Aim, Stewie, aim, aim, aim. One more damaging shot, that'll do ya. There you go, straight into the side of T110E3. Brings him down to 1496. I'm starting to think, gee, I might get another shot off here, but everybody just absolutely smashing into the Tier 10 American non-turreted tank destroyer, and that's a wrap on Malinovka. 15-3 in the end. Wasn't looking that close early on. Certainly wasn't looking that close earlier on, but look, we'll take that result nonetheless. I thought I'd just show you that replay because that is sort of the kind of thing you can expect. You know, it's not a secret. Tier 8 premium tanks, the biggest downside to a Tier 8 premium tank is that you see Tier 10s, unless it's got preferential matchmaking, which, you know, we won't go down that track. But the 50TP, even though it's a Tier 8, it can still hold its own against Tier 10s, but of course you just don't want to go rushing in. Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, shellproof for the bounced, duelist 5 for effect. Second on the scoreboard. I'm pretty happy about that. That poor old Badger only didn't do too much at all. These two guys who died early did 0. 1164 base experience, 3 kills, 2817 damage done. The WZ had an absolute ripper. 16 shots fired, only half of them penetrated. But still, not a bad profit considering all the APCR. I did have a booster running though for 41,000. So if that wasn't happening with a premium account, I would have made about 24. But to be fair, probably didn't need to fire as much APCR as I did. But and that could have increased the profitability. 63,000 credits though in a tier 10 game. I'll take that for a first class. No worries whatsoever. Let's move on to our second game. Now the second game is going to be a little bit different. This is a top tier game, and it's always good when I'm playing, and especially when I'm streaming, when people say g'day. This is a tier 8 game, just 3 tier 8 tanks on each team. Myself in the 50TP, the Rimby Borsig, the GW Tiger P Artillery, and the rest of tier 6s and tier 7s, and that's what someone said. Looks cool. I said, yeah, Pity Artillery loves it. The first few games, now this is quite early on. This game was very early on when I first started playing this tank. I find the E25 and I think that'll be an easy one. Hang on, where the hell did that shot go? Of course, it's not the most, certainly not the most accurate gun in the game. Now that E25 looks to me like he's not going to move, so I'm thinking, well, my gun depression isn't too bad. I don't care if I'm stunned. I'm going to take half your damage, half your hit points. Thank you very much. I only lost 6 hit points to the artillery then. A bouncy IKV 65 too. Of course, that's a tier 6 Swedish tank destroyer. It's not going to bother me whatsoever. This is very, like I said, this is very early on when I first got this. I think this was my 5th game. We're on Tundra. We're top tier. The E25 hasn't moved away, and I'm thinking, well, no worries. I started to auto-aim, no idea why, and thinking, is this guy going to pop over? I still haven't taken any damage. That was just tracking shots. There you go. I'll take him down to 6 hit points, and somebody else can nab that kill if they want it. Using my reasonably low profile for a heavy tank to stay sort of hull down behind this ridgeline. I'm not worried about this E25. This E25 has shot me a fair amount of times. He hasn't penned a shot yet, so I'm not really worried too much about that. Looking towards a heavy tank number 6. That's a Japanese Tiger tank. Pop him for another 364, was it? Bouncing shots left, right, and centre. Even though I'm copping all these shots, still relatively high health. I did lose a little bit of health there to the GW Tiger P. That was only 55. Blocking shots like a boss. 3,100 damage blocks. Charging towards these heavy tanks. I'm pretty much on my own though. The KV5 is starting to penetrate me, no problems whatsoever. He's down to 900 hit points. I'm on 883. I've got 1,118 damage done. 3,235 damage blocked. 1,498 assisted damage. 2 threes to score. We're not looking that good on the hill, and we're starting to lose tanks left, right, and centre. The KV85 has certainly taken his brave pills. Go for a little bit of a trying to get out of the way of the KV5. Come around here. We need to make the scoreboard look a little bit better. So auto aim and kill the KV85 at tier 6. A quick look back there. The KV5 cannot hurt me. Looking towards a Cromwell now. Looks like artillery got the Cromwell for a bit, adding a little bit to my assisted damage. And aim, Stewie, aim, shoot. I don't know. That was a bullshit shot. I don't know where that shot came from, but I got him. You got to take the good with the bad. That's the thing with these inaccurate guns, similar to Russian guns. You're gonna get sometimes it's gonna work really well. But now we're up. Now we're up by 2 tanks, 6-4. As I pop another shot into the KV5. Artillery has a dip. In fact, I think both artilleries playing a great role supporting the 50TP prototype. That's what we like to see, especially when Stewie's driving it. 434 hit points left on the KV5. The KV5 doesn't present himself. The VK does. So I'll pop out there and put a shot into the VK. He gets betraxed. I don't bother to fix it because I know he won't be able to reload it. I know I'll be reloaded before the KV5. So if he pops out, then I should have him covered. There is that VK popping again. The VK is certainly a one shot. And what's the alpha damage? 440. KV5 is not a one shot. Now, I only tracked the VK. Don't know what happened there. And of course, the KV5 shoots me and tracks me again. Now the KV5 certainly is a one shot thanks to artillery hitting him. The artillery certainly focused firing on that top tier heavy tank, which is, I guess, that's probably what they're for. Auto aim and kill the VK. The VK does get 151 damage into me. Good luck to him. And the Rimby Borsig kills the KV5. 9-6 to score now. 3 kills to stewiejp from 1AR clan. 2,638 hit points of damage, 4,840 damage blocked, and nearly 2,000 assisted damage. 10-6, winning by 4 tanks as the Leo goes down. Now we're sort of winning the hill. Lost the Skoda on the hill. The IS is up there on the hill. I'm thinking we should have this. We should have this covered. I'll continue to roll forward. What's left? The Striv. There's the Striv. Now that's somebody who's probably not going to have too much problems penetrating. The Striv does have pretty good penetration. It's a tank destroyer after all, but we probably don't want to engage it. Not on 191 hit points. Hoping artillery starts looking towards the Striv. Looking around here. Speaking of artilleries, there's 2 of them. I find one and kill one. GW Panther's coming. Let's see. Are we going to be able to kill the GW Panther? I'm on 4 kills. Auto aims on the GW Panther. Can't unstun my crew. Tap him for a little bit of ram damage, and there you go. Kill number 5, no problems whatsoever. 12-7, only 1 enemy artillery left, and that's the M44 as well as that Striv. There's the Striv. The Striv looks like he's engaging the Scorpion at tier 7. The IS and the Saint Emile doing quite well on that hill and rolling down towards there. 3,438 damage, 4,840 damage blocked, and that's the thing when you're top tier and you're coming up against those tier 6s, you just laugh at them. Looking towards the Striv. The Striv sees me. I'll get a shot into him, but he does finish me off in the end. In the end, 3,884 damage done, 4,840 damage blocked, and nearly 2,000 assisted damage. The Striv ends up killing the Scorpion. Of course, as soon as I die, artillery comes around. I think, gee, that would have been a top gun. Yeah, that artillery hasn't got enough hit points. Now, the replay cuts out there because at the time, my internet connection just died, and of course, when I logged in, I got this pop-up. We won, and it was an ace. But unfortunately, we don't have the results. But I can tell you, it was 200,000 credits. Now that's before tax with a premium account, so it would have been well over 100,000 credits. That's for sure. High caliber, Pascucci's medal, cool-headed, ace tag and mastery badge. I'm gutted that we can't see how much credits we made after we paid for ammunition, but I'm pretty happy with the tank. I've got to say, is it overpowered? I don't know. At the time of recording, I'm winning well over 70% of my games in it, and I'm not that caliber of player by any stretch of the imagination. Take from that what you will. Is it luck? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but look, I'm enjoying it. It's slow. It's certainly slow, but the gun is pretty good. I'll give it that much, and you can bounce stuff. But like early on, when new tanks come into the game, early on, sometimes they feel overpowered because people aren't quite sure how to penetrate them yet, and maybe there's a bit of that. These 2 games were taken, I think, on the first or second day that I was driving it, and I was getting a lot of comments go, wow, new tank, Stewie, what's that? And yeah, of course, that's what happens when a new tank comes into the game. But will I be buying it? I'm still on the fence. I'd like to. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, that's for sure. It's certainly a good little tank. Will it get action in Clan Wars? I still don't think it's going to be a replacement for your Patriots or for your Defenders, but still another option nonetheless. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. This is the new premium tier 8 Polish heavy tank, the 50TP. I hope you enjoyed the replay. Thank you very much. Take care, and see you all next time. Yeah, maybe I will buy one. Who knows? I reckon it's pretty cool. Cheers.